Good morning to all my wonderful viewers out there. Welcome back to another episode of Sneaker Talk, where we talk about the latest sneaker releases, sneaker collections, and just sneakers in general. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about a big step forward in sneakers, a big sneaker collection, and all round, I think it's a good direction for the sneaker world to take. What collection we're going to be talking about specifically today is the upcoming Nike Space Hippie collection. Yeah, the Space Hippie collection. I don't know who's at Nike's marketing team or whatever team covers the names of the collections, but this person's going all out. Yes, we're getting a collection of sneakers that is coming out today, but is also getting delayed for some different regions around the world. We'll dive into that as well, but for Australia and for Europe, we are getting it today. Sorry, US, you're getting it a little bit later, but it's okay. We are getting a new collection by Nike being dubbed the Space Hippie collection, which is focused around sustainability. Now, what we'll do in today's video is we'll head on over to a HYPEBEAST article that I have prepared for us today to cover what's coming out in the Space Hippie collection, when it's coming out, and just what the hell this whole idea is behind the Space Hippie collection. Now, if you guys want me to keep covering upcoming Nike releases, upcoming Nike collections, upcoming sneaker collections, don't forget to leave this video a big old like, comment in the comment section down below, and subscribe to the channel, as by the end of June, we are trying to aim for 2,500 subscribers. I know I keep dragging on about it, but we got to remind ourselves what milestones we're trying to hit. So 2,500, maybe I should get like a sticky note and slap it here or something like that. That's my 2,500 milestone. What are they called? The subscriber thingies that they give you at 100k and stuff like that. The YouTube milestones. I'll have a sticky note one for 2,500 once we hit it. But yeah, we're trying to aim for 2,500 by the end of June. Tell your mates, tell your family, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully we can hit it. I mean, that's a lot of subs, but who knows? We might be able to hit it by the end of June. Thank you to everyone that is subscribing recently. You guys are amazing. Let's see if we can hit 2,500 by the end of June. Okay, enough of that. Let's head on over to the HYPEBEAST article and have a look at this Space Hippie collection and see what it's all about. And here we are. Let's read into what the article has to say, and then we'll dive into all the images that we have in the actual article. It looks like we have a lot of details here, so it looks like it's going to be a bit of a read, but I feel like this is something we actually do have to read in whole, because it is a collection that I think is definitely worth mentioning, because it's a step forward in the sneaker world, because it's all about sustainability, and I think sustainable sneakers is definitely something we should be thinking about in the 21st century. But ignoring that, let's dive into the article and see what the article has to say. So, Nike Space Hippie collection receives official release date. The sustainable 4-shoe lineup is set to hit shelves this summer. Now, there is an update, but we'll read the original story first that came out on May 28th, which is ages ago, which means I probably should have covered this ages ago. But, you know, I may be a little bit late to the party, but we're still here. Originally revealed as part of an extensive Olympic rollout, Nike's Space Hippie collection now has an official release date. The offerings include 4 silhouettes: the Space Hippie 1, the Space Hippie 2, the Space Hippie 3, and the Space Hippie 4. Wow. We really put a lot of time and effort into that. I feel like the Space Hippie 5 might come out at some point. I don't know. I mean, I'm just guessing, guys. I don't know if it's... I mean, it's a pretty wild guess, but it might be the next one in the lineup there. Each of which is built almost entirely of sustainable materials. Now, that is a very hard thing to achieve when making a pair of sneakers, because the amount of oil, the amount of just single-use materials you have to use to make a sneaker, especially things with like the outsole and stuff, because outsoles are made of rubber and stuff like that. It's very hard to make an almost entirely sustainable shoe, and it's hard to do that without making the price tag go extremely high. So that's pretty crazy. That's pretty monumental that a major brand, because obviously sustainable sneakers have been a thing for a while now. We're not going to ignore that fact, but a major brand. I mean, again, Adidas has been doing it for a while now, but another major brand is coming into the spotlight trying to do sustainable sneakers. And hopefully in the future, that will be the norm where all sneakers are sustainable, because then we can have a material, a product that we can constantly create and materials that aren't single use. So I'm really pro brands like this, especially major players, looking into sustainable sneakers, because it needs to be the future. It honestly needs to be. And all of which are a driving factor in Nike's Move to Zero initiative. So move to zero waste, I assume, is the whole idea of that initiative. I don't know the initiative, but from the name, it sounds like that's the case. But we'll read into what it has to say here. So, although all four silhouettes may be divergent in shape, they are united in ecologically conscious build. Knit uppers are made from space waste yarn, a recycled polyester construction of recycled plastic bottles plus t-shirts and yarn scraps. So the upper of the actual shoe, that knit there, made of recycled shirts, plastic bottles and recycled plastic. Meanwhile, the midsoles are built of a new material called crater foam. They always got to give it some kind of fancy name like that, don't they? A blend of standard Nike foams and 15% Nike grind rubber. I don't know what Nike grind rubber is, which provides the colorful fleeks seen on each model. This is combined with recycled Zoom X from Exemplary Comfort. Okay, interesting. So is the midsole, is the sole there is like a blend of standard Nike foams and 15%. So is standard Nike foams recycled, or is it? I'm a little bit confused if the actual midsoles there are recyclable, recycled materials and stuff like that. It kind of seems like it is, but it isn't really very clear here in this article. It kind of just sounds like it sort of is, but sort of isn't. From a look standpoint, this new age material mix makes for an appealing, rough hewing design. Some with a bricolage style design, and the 01 and 04 models are the most traditional of the bunch, both serving up a low-cut silhouette with a standard lacing system. On the other end, the 02s and 03s venture further off the beaten path with high-cut uppers that are laceless. 02 or use an advanced fly ease system. 03 usually seen on a performance basketball or running silhouette. So, okay, that made it a little bit confusing on the article there. On the other end, the 02 and 03 venture further from the beaten path with high-cut uppers that are laceless. 02 or use an okay, good. I can actually read. It's not just me. Or use an advanced. Okay, good. I thought I was tripping out. It is early in the morning. I thought I was tripping out. I did read it correctly. All four pairs are dressed in grey, blue, and orange. And there is also a lone grey, black, and Volt iteration of the 04. A fully recycled tee accompanies the offerings. Okay, so it looks like they're also planning to do clothing as well. I was hoping that was going to be the case, because I kind of felt like the Space Hippie collection would feel a little bit alone and by itself if it wasn't accompanied by apparel. Now I'm hoping that this collection continues in the future, that Nike decides to do more Space Hippie 01, 02, 03 and 04s in the future, and potentially 5, 6, 7 and 8s, future models as well. It's a good initiative to take. Hopefully they can get it down to zero with their initiative that they're trying to go for, the Move to Zero initiative. Hopefully they can make these sneakers eventually 0% waste, and also from completely recyclable materials. That would be really, really cool and a really awesome premise. Now, the Nike Space Hippie 01, 2, and 3, and 4 will release globally via Nike sneakers come June 11th. Price ranges from 130 to 180 USD. For more on Nike's sustainable design initiatives like Move to Zero, head on over to the Nike Purpose page. Now, what I have to just quickly say quite interesting is I expected this to happen. Why did I expect Nike to release a sustainable collection sometime in 2020? Because they were forced to by Adidas. Because last year, I remember, especially when Kanye had that press interview where he was holding the Yeezy foam runners that were made out of algae, I remember at that time, Adidas also announced that they were going to do like multiple sustainable collections, and Adidas has been doing sustainable shoes for a while now. So if Nike didn't want to be left in the dust, they needed to do something like this to come up against Adidas. They needed to, otherwise they would have been left in the dust. So I expected this to happen. I am happy that it's happening, and hopefully competition between these two major brands causes them to innovate quicker to the point where these shoes will become 100% sustainable and recycled materials. You know what I mean? So hopefully that's the case. Speaking on Adidas quite quickly, I really hope that Adidas does that innovation and does it quickly, because I'm kind of getting bored of Adidas re-releasing the same models over and over again, and the Ultra Boost over and over and over again. I really just want like a change and new stuff being released when it comes to Adidas's lineup, but hopefully that'll change sometime soon. That's a totally another topic for another video. I just thought I'd speak on it quite quickly. What we'll do now is we'll just cover the update, just so we are up to date with the latest news. The Nike Space Hippie Collection's US sneakers release has been pushed back from June 11th to July 3rd. That seems to be the case for a lot of upcoming Nike sneakers on the US's releases, but both the European and Asian, which Australia is technically a part of when it comes to Nike sneaker releases, are retaining the original June 11th release date. Why has that happened? Why has Nike suddenly treated the US differently? It's not because of the riots or anything like that. What I think has happened is my assumption is that both Europe and the Asian sneaker outposts get less quantity of the upcoming Nike sneaker releases. I'm going off that assumption because whenever I try and personally buy like a size 16 or 17 sneaker from Nike, there's usually only like a handful of sneakers that are in that size, which makes me feel like we get low quantities of not just the bigger sizes but all the sizes when it comes to upcoming sneaker releases. So the European and Asian ones are going to go ahead on the normal date of June 11th because there was less quantity that had to be shipped to those outposts. The US, however, I always feel that Nike gives the US the most quantity, and because there's more quantity that needs to be shipped, and US shipping is, not gonna lie, pretty trash. I'm pretty sure most of you guys can agree with me on that one. I can imagine that the reason that it's been delayed to July the 3rd is because just the quantity that they've got for the US just didn't get moved quick enough. That same day shipping was, been let down. So they've had to push the release date back so that everyone can get their pairs to the, the US sneakers outposts and stuff. So then they can be shipped off and sold off to people. That's personally why I think it's been delayed. I could be wrong. Nike could just be going through some things over in the US. Totally understandable. Lots of crazy stuff going on in the US right now. But that's my assumption, is that they just got a massive quantity for the US, they weren't able to move it in time, and now they have to delay their release. While Europe and Asia gets a very small amount, so it's easier to ship off. That's my assumption. Could be wrong, that's just what I think. But unfortunately, yes, people over in the US that are watching this video, you gotta wait till July the 3rd, while everyone in Europe, everyone in Australia and Asia can enjoy. So what we'll do now that we've gone over the sad news, I think we should just dive into the 16 images of all 4 models, because should we do the lookbook? Nah, I don't want to do the lookbook. Let's not do the lookbook. The lookbook's just going to be this over the... Well, look, we'll go through it now. Yeah, it's just showcasing how it's made. It's not as interesting. There's 16 images here that are a lot more interesting. We'll dive into these images and dive into each of the models here and have a look how they look in both design and the colorway as well. So let's have a look and see what the Space Hippie sneaker collection is all about. Okay, so to start it off with, we have the Space Hippie 01. This one's going to retail for 190 Australian dollars. Yeah, it looks like a very traditional Nike runner, not gonna lie. The shape, the overall look. I have 2 things that I have to say about it that are not so positive. The colorway, pretty ugly. Just gonna say it, just gonna put it out there. The minty blue with the grey upper with the red embroidered swoosh and red detailing. It's not tickling my fancy. They potentially should have just gone two-tone, black and white, something like that. The colorway, I know this is a futuristic shoe. Like, I know you're using sustainable materials. It's meant to be this leap forward, but that doesn't mean you have to do all these wacky and crazy colors to it. You can just make it nice and black and white, and that can be futuristic too. Don't really like the colorway. Second thing, I'm just not a fan of this exposed stitching. I love, don't get me wrong, shoes made of like sock uppers and stuff like that can be well done, but exposed stitching kind of makes it look cheap. And it's not cheap, because 190 Australian dollars is not cheap. If they change those two things up, they removed that exposed stitching, they did it in black and white and not this weird mint color, I reckon I'd be on board. I'd be like, you know what, this is a cool sneaker. This is a cool sneaker. I like its traditional looking shape. Even though it's a futuristic shoe, they haven't gone too wild on it for this first one. I just think that they need a different color, and they need to remove that exposed stitching on the outsides here. Exposed stitching. It just makes it seem like it's cheap. Apart from that though, it's well done. I reckon this one will sell quite well. I think a lot of people will like it purely just for its silhouette, but I need some different colorways. I need some different models. This one isn't for me because I'm not a running shoe guy, but all in all, I think this one will do quite well. We'll move on now to the Space Hippie 2.0 and have a look at that one. The Space Hippie 2.0, a little bit different from the 1.0s. It's going to retail for 220 Australian dollars. I don't know how I feel about this upper. This upper has what looks like one layer to it, and then a second layer to it as well that kind of just oddly sits over the top of it. Do you see what I mean? There's this first layer, then this weird second layer on it. No laces. This is a laceless sneaker. I think we got one more image. Yeah, see what I mean? Like, it's got an underlayer, then an overlayer. I don't know. I think the designers have just gone a little bit too crazy trying to make this shoe really futuristic because it's like sustainable, it's forward thinking, you know, it's the future. I don't think sustainable sneakers have to look like they're from 2050 to give us that idea. You could just do a traditional normal sneaker that's made out of 100% recyclable materials and that would be fine. that could be the step forward. You don't have to do something as wild as this. This one doesn't appeal to me as much. It looks way too much like an Adidas sneaker, honestly. Looks like a bunch of the Ultra Boost I've seen for the past like 5 years. But yeah, this one's not for me. And it retails for more? Are you kidding me? I gotta pay 30 Australian dollars more for a shoe that looks worse than the first one? Nah. Nah, not for me. Not for me, not this second one. That's okay. Maybe the third one will appeal to me. Let's go on over and have a look at the Space Hippie 03s. Oh boy. Okay. This shoe looks like, how do I describe it? It's like a tent, but without the weather cover over the top of it. It's a sneaker without its final layer over the top of it. Because it's got all these exposed wires and crap. Okay. You're getting a thumbs up from me because it's a high top. And I'm a big sucker for high tops, boots, anything like that. You're playing in my field, Nike, when you're doing that. What I don't like is this Jordan 33 system to keep its shape and to maintain its shape with these wires. Not because the wires are there in the first place, but because they're exposed. What happens if I accidentally trip up on a sidewalk and I accidentally slice one of the wires? What am I gonna do then? What am I gonna do then? The shoe's busted. I've literally just paid 250 Australian dollars for a shoe that I would break really easily. I don't know. Maybe I'm being really harsh on number 3, but it needs an extra layer. You know, extra layer of mesh, extra layer of recycled t-shirts, whatever. It needs an extra layer because I am so afraid that someone's just going to slice that. It's just going to break straight away. I'm just super worried. I need my safety net. I need my extra layer. And I'm not usually too hard on shoes, but I don't think you need to be too hard on shoes or not too hard on shoes. to break this, because this just looks super flimsy. I'm sorry, it's just from the, you know, from the deconstructed design, it just looks super flimsy. I'm sorry, I can't. The high top, all the extra stuff over the top of it, yeah, it's kind of cool. I like this swoosh that's been given a shadow that's embroidered on the front. That's cool. But you need to hide those wires, man. It's giving me anxiety just looking at this. I'm just like, nah. Someone first day of wearing this is going to accidentally cut one of these wires. So that's my only beef. And also, sorry, the colorway. To all the Space Hippie models, the colorways are really ugly. We need to rethink the colorways, Nike. We need to rethink it. Call me up. Contact info's in my Instagram bio. Email me. We'll work on some colorways. But, oh, yeah. Just be real with yourself. When are you going to wear a mint blue with a grey? Do you wear astronaut suits often? Because this will work with an astronaut suit. But how often do you wear a colour like this? For me, not too much. Yeah, this is definitely the one that appeals to me the most, but I need those wires covered, and we need a colorway change. Apart from that, it's alright. We'll move on to the final one. Can you guess what it's called? We have the, here it comes, the Space Hippie 4s. So, we've seen the Space Hippie 1s, Space Hippie 2s, the Space Hippie 3s now. Let's go have a look at the 4s. I can see this one working. This and Space Hippie 1, I think will sell the most. Sell well. Space Hippie 2 and 3, I think you need to be revitalized with Space Hippie 2.1 or 3.1 because they look a little bit incomplete. This, however, I think this will appeal to a lot of people. It's a very low cut runner, heel tab at the back, laces, pretty nice color. I gotta say, thank God they got rid of that blue midsole. They got rid of those crazy laces. They've gone with a white midsole, white laces, white pull tab, and a matching in tone upper out of grey and red. It's a lot nicer. It's a lot more consumable. It does look a lot better. It also does come in another colorway. This one as well. They had to bring the blue sole back. If the sole here was black, I think this one could do really well. Because it's blue, now you're in uncharted territory. Now I don't know if this is going to sell well or not, but I think this model is definitely one that'll touch base with a lot more people, especially this colorway. I think this colorway is going to do really well. I think this colorway is going to do quite well, but yeah, just because it looks more like a traditional runner. Like, I get it, it's a step in a new direction, they want to change up the silhouettes, but it's got to be consumable. It's got to be something that people are going to like, and I feel like this one and Space Hippie 1 are where it's at for the broader general public. I don't know. Obviously, people will be drawn to the Space Hippie 2s and 3s, but I feel like for the general public, it's going to be 1 and 4. They all come in these recycled black boxes, cardboard boxes with black detailing on them, which I think is really nice. It's a step in a nice direction. I think it's really cool. Do I want this to continue for all the releases? I mean, recycled cardboard, yes. This look of the box, not so much. Leave me with my Jordan 1 boxes and just make them out of recycled materials, and then I'll be happy. But yeah, Space Hippie 4 and 1 are definitely going to appeal to the most people. I don't think I'll buy any of these, and I don't reckon they'll make them up into a size 16 or 17. If I was to buy any of them, I'd probably buy Space Hippie 3, even though I was beating it up about those exposed wires, just to see how long it would take, and just to try it out. I would do it. But that's only because Space Hippie 3 is a high top, and you know, I'm a sucker for high tops. You know, as soon as I see high tops, I'm there. You've sold me, I'm there. But yeah, my final thoughts on all 4 of them. It's a good first attempt. Your first attempt is never your best. So keep it up. I'm trying to be like a supportive father here for Nike, but keep it up. You did good on 1 and 4. 2 and 3 need a little bit reworking, in my opinion. And the colorways, whoever's doing the colorways for these needs to look at the color wheel and rethink them a little bit. But apart from that, it's not bad. it's not bad. I'm hoping that this initiative spawns more recycled programs with Nike in the future. It definitely looks like it will, but all in all, it's not too bad. It's releasing today, June 11th or July the 3rd if you're in America, for multiple different prices. The cheapest pairs are the first and fourth one, which is another reason why I think it's going to sell really, really well. And the most expensive one is the third one, which is the big boy over here. And the second most expensive one is the 0.2s, which is the sock looking boys here. Yeah, that's it. That's all I've really got to say about them, guys. Let me know what your thoughts and opinions are on Nike doing sustainable shoes now, on this Space Hippie program, this Space Hippie collection, and which one out of the four is your favorite? Is it number 1? Is it number 2? Is it number 3? Or do you like number 4? Let me know all your thoughts and opinions on the Nike Space Hippie collection on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or as always in that comment section below. And that's really everything that we have to say about the Nike Space Hippie collection. Yeah, 3 is my favorite. 1 and 4 I will think will sell the best, but they need to go across the board with all 4 models and redo all the colorways, because I think all the colorways are kind of... And that's the main selling point, right? Like, for most shoes, unless that color appeals to you, you're probably not going to pick it up. Unless that silhouette is just so perfect that the color, it doesn't even matter, because that silhouette is just amazing. But these silhouettes are really, you know, adventurous and really different. So if the colorway doesn't hit and the silhouette doesn't hit, it's going to flop. But I think because of the price, because Space Hippie 1 and 4 are the cheapest and also the easiest, most traditional looking runner, I think they're going to sell the best. 2s and 3s, they're going to appeal to, you know, certain crowds, people that are, you know, are fans of non-traditional looking shoes, stuff like that. It will hit an audience, but I feel like for the general public, 1 and 4 is going to do really well. For me, I would love to pick up the 3s and just try them on and see what they're like. But I don't think Nike's going to release this collection in a size 16 or 17. And also, I want to see how long it takes me, without trying, obviously, for those wires to snap and see what happens. But that's just me being adventurous and wanting to find out there. Let me know all your thoughts and opinions though, guys. Which one's your favorite? Do you like 1? Do you like 2? Do you like 3? Do you like 4? Or are you like, you know what, Nike, these sustainable shoes, they suck. Look, you're all entitled to your opinions. Just let me know about them in that comment section below. Now, if you want me to cover new upcoming Nike releases, sneaker collections, everything like that, don't forget to leave this video a big old like, comment in the comment section down below, and subscribe to the channel. As I mentioned before, we are trying to aim for 2,500 subs by the end of June, so I can get a little sticky note milestone right there. You know, 2,500 subs obtained. Can we do it by the end of June? You gotta share the channel around with all your mates, fellas. That's all we can really ask for, and then maybe we can hit that milestone. But thank you to everyone that has been subscribing recently, watching the videos up until this point. You guys, you're amazing people. Thank you for all your continuous support. You guys are awesome. But that's all I've really got to say about the Nike Space Hippie collection, releasing on June 11th for Europe and Asia and Australia, and unfortunately July 3rd for the US. But let me know all your thoughts and opinions on it in the comment section below. And until the next Nike video, until the next sneaker talk video, until the next streetwear talk video, guys, I'll catch you later.